Hello, grade 11. How are you? Um, this is final preparation for our final exams, paper 2. I want us to go through to revise um, this question on trigonometry. Now, if I have this question, given that sine theta is equals to negative 1 over 4 and theta should range from 0 degrees to 270 degrees. Determine with the aid of a diagram the value of the following. Okay, I just want to bring one, which is cos 180 plus theta. How do we go about this question? It's easy. What you need to do is, we've been given this information that sine theta is equals to minus 1 over 4. So the question also continues to say that with the aid of a diagram. So it means you have a max for the diagram. You need to draw the diagram. So you have to consider SOHCAHTOA in mind. And what is SOHCAHTOA? Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, tan is opposite over adjacent. So now we are going to draw the diagram using the information given. And what are the information? We are going to draw the diagram for this. So if you check this one, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So it means this one is equals to opposite over hypotenuse. So here it means this is my opposite and this is my hypotenuse. Alright, okay, now to draw the diagram, the question says that the domain for this is theta must be in between 0 degrees and 270. So it means theta must either fall from here to this side. This is not part of it according to this question. So if you check, where do you have sine to be negative? On this Cartesian plane. Sine is positive here, negative here, negative here. But we can't draw the diagram here because of the domain given to us. The domain says this must be out, because start from 0 degrees to 270 degrees, and 270 degrees lies here. Okay, so it means our diagram is going to be here, not here, because this is where you find sine to be negative. And here, if you have theta here, if this is theta, reduction formula indicate that this side is also theta. So it means this is opposite and this one is hypotenuse. So our opposite, you place negative 1 here, and our hypotenuse is what? 4. We know its length, but for the sake of calculation, put the negative there. Alright. Okay. Then the next thing that we are going to do is, because learners, I just want to put the negative there because learners most of the time forget the negative. Then we need to calculate the other side. We need to calculate the other side, this side, which is the adjacent. So how do you calculate it? You use the Pythagoras Theorem. We know that the hypotenuse, which is 4 squared, should be equals to the two sides. So this side is what? Negative 1 squared plus this side, which is ON squared. And we know negative 1 squared is 1. And if I transpose this, is going to give me 4 squared is also 16. So if I transpose this, is going to give me 16 minus 1 all squared. Then we take a square root of both sides. So you are going to have plus or minus square root 15. But if you check, ON is at the left hand side of the Cartesian plane. So it is negative. We pick the negative sign. So ON is what? Negative square root of 15. Okay. Now we are going to answer the question. The question says cos 180 plus theta. How do we do that? Cos 180 plus theta, in the diagram, we are going to have this diagram here. 180 plus theta is going to give us negative cos theta, because, let me open one of the diagram here for you to see. Now, if you check this, we want 180 plus theta. If you move from here to here, it's 90. Let me bring it up. From here to here is what? 90, 180 plus theta. So 180 plus theta is going to be in the third quadrant. And in the third quadrant, cos is what? Negative. That is why we have what? Negative cos theta. Good. So from the diagram, we want to give this one a value. So let's go back to our first diagram. To give it a value, we know that cos is what? K, which is adjacent over hypotenuse. So you pick this one. Alright, so our adjacent is what? Include a negative. Now, forget about this negative. This one gives us this value. We have reduced this one. So pick this negative 15 over hypotenuse. So cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, which is negative 15 over 4, which is that one. Then we want to calculate tan theta. That is tan 180 plus theta, which is going to give us tan theta. How did we get that? Okay, now if you continue, you see that from here, 180 plus theta, this side tan is what? Positive, because this is the cos diagram. Here cos is positive, this side sine, cos, tan, all of them are positive. This side sine is positive, the rest are negative, and this side tan is what? Positive. So here tan theta is going to be what? A positive value. Okay, now let's give it a value here. What is going to be tan theta? Tan is adjacent over, is to adjacent, is opposite over what? Adjacent to opposite. So where is our opposite? Our opposite is this one, and our adjacent is negative 1 over 15. So if you check this, what are we going to have? You have negative 1, which is this one, over our adjacent, which is negative 1, negative square root of 15. And minus minus will cancel to give us what? A positive value, which is the same as that one. So tan is this. Okay.